Hey everybody, so I got a new mold I got off of Amazon. I wanted to give this a try. My last egg bite recipe, I did it in sous vide in little mason jars. This time I'm going to try it out in the mold in the Instant Pot. So overall, I mean, it looks like it's decent quality. It's made from a silicone and it's got a decent shape to it. It's got a, pretty deep mold. So a pretty good size egg bite here. Now it says on their review or on their description that you can't use the lid in the Instant Pot, that it's just for storage, but I've also seen a lot of reviews where people have used it, so I'm going to give it a try. And you can see they got little notches here at the bottom, which are made for these little rubber grabs, whatever you want to call these things. You just stick these in. Now, I'm not a big fan of these, and I'll show you why here in just a second. You just get them in there. They don't hold in the greatest. And then you just put them together. And then, just a little bit of weight or a little bit of movement, and these will pop apart pretty easily, as you can see. And they do fall off the bottom pretty easily, too. So I just don't like using these. And I'm not going to. I got one of these little slings that you can get for your Instant Pot. I highly recommend using one of these instead. Definitely a lot more durable. But I mostly just wanted the mold itself. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a crab and avocado one. I got some pepper jack cheese, half a cup of cottage cheese, some avocado. We got some crab meat. Now this is imitation crab meat. I am poor, so but definitely use real crab if you can. And then I got some chopped cilantro and then 4 eggs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little food processor here. That's part of my immersion blender. I add the eggs. I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this. And I prefer freshly ground pepper and salt, but that's my preference. Go ahead and get my immersion blender ready here. Next, I'm going to add the cottage cheese. Then we'll add the pepper jack cheese. Then I'm going to go ahead and give this a few pulses. Get this part blended up. And pretty soon I'll have a review on this immersion blender. It's been working pretty well. I've had it for a couple weeks now, and I've been testing it on a lot of stuff. But we're just going to go ahead and give this a good blending. I like to pulse mine, that way it has time, or it can allow it to be circulated a little better. Oh, we got everything all blended up, smooth texture. I'm going to add some of the crab in. And then I'm just going to give this a really quick pulse. I don't want to blend up the crab. I just want to kind of get it mixed in a little bit better. Now, I chose not to add the cilantro because I didn't really want it all blended up. I'm going to do just a quick spray of some butter oil or butter spray. kind of help with the non-sticking part of it. And then I'm going to place a little bit of the crab meat at the bottom. We're going to kind of layer this a little bit. This is the first time I've ever used one of these molds, but from other times that I've done some egg bites with sous vide and everything, I've had issues with stuff kind of going to the top or all the way to the bottom. So that's why I'm going to layer it a little bit. All right, after I have a little layer of the crab, I'm going to go ahead and mix in the cilantro now. We're just going to stir it in because I didn't want it blended in. I don't want to change the eggs to a green color or have itty bitty little specks of it. And then I'm going to add just a little bit to kind of go over the egg or over the crab meat. After that, I'm going to put a layer of some avocado in. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and put more of the egg mixture in. I'm going to clean up my mess just a little bit here. We'll go ahead and put our lid on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this in the Instant Pot, put it on steam. The default is 10 minutes, so just do the 10 minutes of steam and then let it naturally release for another 10 minutes. Next, we're going to do a super simple holiday sauce. This is a cheater way. I always learned with using a whisk, and most of the restaurants I worked in, they only allowed it the traditional way. I was never allowed to do. So this is the first time I'm actually going to do it the cheating way. So you could use either a blender or you can use the immersion one. I'm adding just a little bit of cayenne. This is also 4 egg yolks. A little bit of salt. And then we want to add some lemon juice. Now, one technique I recommend is roll your lemon. Put some pressure on it and roll it. This will help release some of the juice out of it. It'll make it a little easier to squeeze it out. I'm just going to use half the lemon there. You could always use a little more if you like to have a little bit more of the lemon flavor. I also have 1 stick of butter melting on the stove. Traditionally, I would have used just clarified butter, but I'm going to use the just all of it, the whole stick. You want to have it nice and hot, not boiling, but nice and hot. So here we got our melted butter. First, gives the yolks a blending. Normally, when you would hand whisk, you would whisk it until it gets a little more volume, a little bit more substance to it. Then you want to slowly pour the oil or the butter in as you're blending. If you're doing it the traditional way with whisking, it'd be the same thing, nice and slow while you whisk it. Plus the also the traditional way you'd be doing this over the stove on a double boiler. A lot of people, they'll try to rush it towards the end. Don't do that. Take your time. If you add the oil too quickly, you might break it. I have to say, I really like this method. I've seen people do it before, but I've never used it. We're also making a mess, so I would recommend pouring this into a container and then pouring it in. There we go. Super simple, quick, easy holiday sauce. Perfect texture. I also hope people are liking the view a little bit better. I did get a new mount a couple days ago that I'm trying out now. More of an overhead view instead of the tripod being directly in front of me. It looks pretty good. Nice, silky smooth. Other variations, you could always add in some tarragon, some chives, whatever you want to do in that. One of the places I worked at, they would have us add tarragon to it. It's pretty good. A little rich, not something that I eat very often. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull our eggs out. They have been in there for a little while now. Already looking at it, I'm going to say they have expanded a lot more compared to when I did the sous vide way. So note to self, I'll probably want to not fill them quite to the top. And be careful, it is very hot. All right, let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at them. Overall, I'd say they look pretty good. Looks like they pop out pretty easily. They look a little funny, the shape that they are. They're a little taller than most of them. But part of that is just because I filled them up all the way to the top. You can kind of see the crab meat and everything in there. Go ahead and put some of that nice looking holiday sauce on it. Then I'm going to put a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. There you go. There's my egg bite today. We'll go ahead and cut this open up, take a look inside, see how it fared, how it looks. Looks pretty good. See the avocado and everything. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Subscribe, like, comment below.